Hey everybody, Missy Bunch here with Death of the Desk, and today I have a TA, a teacher's assistant. His name is Howard Sternum, and I love him. I used to be a TA for many different topics, so that just thought that was kind of funny. He's always looking at me. Okay, so Howard Sternum is going to help me teach you guys a little bit today about the sacrum. I had a couple inquiries yesterday about, hey, how do I keep my sacrum healthy? What are some stretches? What can I do? And you know what? I love this question. Why? Because the sacrum is coming from the word sacred. They actually called it the holy bone. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I definitely read some articles about the sacrum being so sacred that when a mother was pregnant in certain villages, the whole village would line up and kind of bless the pregnant woman's sacrum and touch it and rub it. So I always thought that was kind of a cool tradition or belief that some cultures had back in the day. If anyone wants to line up and rub my sacrum, I would be very open to it. It feels amazing. And so I just thought that was a cool story. So sacrum, sacred, holy bone. And let's see, I'm gonna scoot forward. I hope I'm still in the frame. So check this little guy out here. I think you guys can zoom in. You're probably on your phone, not sure. I'll come a little closer. Hopefully I'm still in it. But the sacrum is I'm nervous, my head's not in it, I'm gonna scoot back. The sacrum is a triangle-shaped bone. It's at the bottom of your spine. It does attach to the last vertebra. And then the coccyx is at the bottom, that's your tailbone. If you have ever swung on a swing before as a child and then you flew off because you were super cool and then you landed and bruised your tailbone, you know exactly what the coccyx is. It probably has been bruised before. And then you have your pelvis. This is called the ilium. So when the sacrum meets the ilium, we call it the sacroiliac joint. And the sacroiliac joint is super important for gait efficiency. And all that means is, do you walk efficiently or not? And you definitely want to be on the yes side. Having very efficient walking mechanics is really good for your body. It's less taxing, it uses less resources, and it makes your brain feel safe, like you know what you're doing. And if you don't walk really well, you know who you are, and you can kind of tell your SI joint is probably kind of chunky clunky when you walk. The better we can get that to move appropriately, the better you perform globally throughout your body and typically experience less pain. Okay, so sacrum, triangle bone, has 4 attachments on the human body. Really cool thing is there are 35 muscles attached to this guy. Let's just think about that for a second. 35 muscles. Okay, so typically you only hear about the piriformis, the psoas, maybe some adductors, but you really want to go, holy moly, there's a lot that could be going on that could be affecting my sacrum. On top of that, there are like a lot of ligaments too. There's 5 for sure, maybe it's 10 on each side, I don't really know, but you can Google it. On top of the sacrum being the middle of the X during gait, during your walk, the opposite of it is your neck. So typically what I see is when someone has neck issues, we can work on their sacrum to help their neck issues. If they have sacrum issues, we can work on their neck to help it because it's the other end of the spectrum. Okay, so that's a little bit about anatomy. I could talk about that for like an hour, but that's not what you're here for. This video is 5 exercises for things you can do to make your sacrum feel delicious and healthy and moving and happy and all that good stuff, okay? So here we go. Super tall, exercise number 1. You're gonna lengthen, tuck your chin parallel to the ground. You're gonna take your 2 hands and find the dimples on your back. You're gonna go underneath your pants if you have to, like me. And here are the dimples. You're going to go down towards your butt crack, basically. And this is called skin stimulation. Skin stim for short. Okay, we're gonna do a light topical rub in this V shape for about 30 seconds. Once that gets a little too hot, go down the middle and then go to the sides. Now, one thing I just forgot to mention is before you do this, can you please rate your discomfort on a 1 to 10? 10's the worst. I started the video at about a 5 because I just worked out. I just got back from a 20-hour flight, so my sacrum is pretty messed up right now. About a 5 out of 10. And after skin stim, it actually gets a little bit better, and I feel like now it's a 3 out of 10. So rate your discomfort 1 to 10. Do the skin stimulation for about 30 seconds, topically and fast. It's not a deep tissue massage. It's like this. The brain really likes that. That's why you like to snuggle. I'm not gonna go into the science behind light topical rubbing. That's also a whole nother video. Just trust me on this. There's a lot of science to why that works, and it feels amazing. And who doesn't wanna rub their low back? Okay, exercise number 2. We're gonna call it a spinal roll. And you're gonna unlock your knees. I learned this from the On It Academy in Austin, Texas. Oh, I'm sorry, your knees are straight. Think about your whole spine. You're gonna tuck your chin as much as you can. Then, one vertebra at a time, you're gonna slowly think about opening the back side of your vertebra and creating space back there. Head heavy, arms heavy like noodles. Super slow coming down. No pressure, just relax at the bottom, reorganize, give your head a no if that feels good, nod your head yes if that feels good. Bend the knees a lot, tuck your pelvis under, and then slowly roll up from the bottom of your spine. Holy moly, that feels so good. Uno mas. Tuck the chin. Roll. One vertebra at a time. Go uncomfortably slow, even slower than I am if possible. I'm kind of hopped up on coffee right now, so I'm trying to calm down. Tuck the pelvis, bend the knees a lot, and slowly roll up from the coccyx all the way through your low back, mid back, upper back, shoulders, and your head is the very last thing. Oh my gosh. Ideally, you're going to do 3 to 5 reps of that to really get your spine fluid. Feels like you're nourishing and hydrating it, right? So the smarter your spine is as a whole, the better the top and the bottom of the spine are going to be, aka your sacrum. Now that you've done 3 to 5 of those, we're going to do something called spinal flossing. You're going to unlock the knees, tuck your pelvis. This is exercise number 3. You're going to tuck your chin and roll down until you feel a quite intense pull on the back side. I definitely have it now. And you're just going to lift your chin and try to touch your chest for 5 reps. So what this does is it takes your spinal cord into a big bent shape, okay? We call this spinal flexion. When you do this, you have the opportunity to stretch your spinal cord like 6 to 9 centimeters, which in nerve land, that's a lot. So go very respectfully, go very slowly, and just explore what works for you. Okay, so that's 3 exercises. Now, exercise number 4 actually has 4 to 5 parts to it, but we're gonna get the basics down so you know what to do. Remember how I said the sacrum has 35 muscle attachments. Well, we got to do something about that, okay? So what we're going to do for exercise 4 is find a wall, a chair, a small human, whatever you have available to you for balancing, because this exercise is not about, I'm so cool, I want to balance. It's actually about the moving leg. So number 4, lengthen, lobster claw, grab your pelvis, take your femur, internally and externally rotate it a couple times. And you ask yourself, which one's harder for me to do? In or out? On my left leg, it's way harder for me to externally rotate. So I'm gonna call that my rehab position. Yours might be in if this feels harder to do. Hold it there. You're gonna do 3 to 5 small circles in each direction to rehabilitate the tissue in the position it's not comfortable doing. Because you might be someone who walks like this with their toes turned out. You might be someone who walks with their feet turned in. And you also might be someone who walks like that. Who knows, right? But we want to rehabilitate the hip socket using the tissue that needs to work, okay? That's position 1. Position 2, you cross your body, lobster claw your pelvis. Internal, external rotation, check it out. In is actually harder for me. We're gonna do 3 to 5 slow, symmetrical, and smooth circles, trying to maintain a long spine. Try not to do this while you're doing it. Third position is to the side. Whew. Now, when you lift your leg, try not to sink into that standing hip. Try to stay really tall, lift the leg, then find your rehab position. And holy moly, mine's definitely turned out. Okay, external rotation of the femur, 3 to 5 small circles. Your standing leg will burn. Mine is on fire. Okay, 3 to 5 circles there. Fourth position of the 4th exercise. Posterior, tuck your pelvis, lift the leg. It won't lift very high without you compensating, okay? I mean, I'm barely lifting it up. Find your rehab position. External, again, is hard for me. 3 to 5 reps. Okay, for time's sake, I'm going a little quicker, but I would like you to do these at about 1/3 of that speed. I'm running out of breath. I'm talking really fast. I'm gonna slow down. Okay, so the last part is a huge circle. This feels so good. My head might be chopped off in the frame, and I apologize. Grab your pelvis, lift the leg, find your rehab position. Mine's external, and we're gonna do a big old circle, trying to keep the pelvis still. So we're not doing something like this, okay? This is femur initiated. Front side back, back side front. Shake it off. Definitely do both legs because we're working on the sacrum. The last exercise is for your pelvis. This is a 3-part move. So you want to get the pelvis super smart for your sacrum. We're going to make sure the toes are forward. Unlock the knees, lobster claw your pelvis. And this one is a tuck under and then a booty pop, okay? We're gonna do 5 to 10 of these. Now notice, I'm not moving my shoulders, okay? This is just purely from the pelvis. Once you feel like you have that down, you're gonna work on toes forward, bend the knees, pretend that you can see these dimples, nice neutral. You're gonna bring the pelvis up towards your armpit and other side. This one is the hardest because you want to keep your heels down. Your SI joint is going like this when you do this. This is a magical movement for people with SI issues. Simple, effective, might as well do something easy, right? Now, when you think about this, try not to close a car door. It's not to the side. Hey, it's actually whoom, up. Hey, hey. Now your legs are probably tired. Sorry, not sorry. You're gonna unlock the knees. Part 3 of exercise 5. Tuck the pelvis. Go to the side. Back, side. Front, side, back. Side for pelvis circles. Connect the dots and smooth it out. Okay, again, you're not using your shoulders. No likey, no touchy. They're not invited to the party. And reverse it. Can you move your pelvis isolated, separate from the rest of your body? The smarter each and every individual joint you have, the better they operate together, right? If your elbow is stiff, that's not great for your wrist or your shoulder. If your elbow does everything it was designed to do, it's really nice to your wrist and shoulder. So you want to think of joint independence makes joint interdependence possible. So learn your ABCs first before you learn a word, before you learn a phrase or a sentence, and then move on to paragraphs. This might be a foreign language for some of you. Go easy, be nice to yourself, be patient, and of course, just let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for being on this little sacrum journey with me today.